One Elon student shares why and what Martin Luther King Jr. Day means to him.
Wednesday marks the 100th anniversary of an event that changed Elon's campus forever.
Elon's fraternities and sororities are preparing for the return of a fully in-person recruitment season.
Those stories and more.
Elon Local News starts now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on this Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I'm Jenna Manderioli.
I'm Brett Turnbull. We hope you enjoyed your day off today.
We begin tonight by remembering the life of Martin Luther King Jr. Today marks the holiday, but yesterday, January 15th, would have been his 94th birthday.
Elon University did not have classes today to observe the holiday. Over the past week and through Wednesday, Elon is commemorating Dr. King's legacy as a civil rights leader in the United States.
Elon sophomore Grayson Thompson says these events are for everyone to enjoy and be educated by. Attending the events and getting the most out of them are what he says truly matters.
I get to know the whole experience of what he did for people, not just black people, but in general for a race, the human race. So yeah.
Thompson also says he feels inspired by Dr. King because of his work to change the future for those who feel they do not have a voice.
For my family, yeah, because we're black. Also for me too, because it's I want to change the world too in some way. So I do YouTube and stuff like that to help other people out to spread people that don't have a voice. I want to speak up for them and then do certain things that people want to do so I can inspire others.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established in 1983 and first observed in 1986.
Elon's CREED, or Center for Race, Ethnicity, and Diversity Education, is hosting a dinner and discussion tomorrow night in Mosley 215 starting at 5 p.m. The event commemorates the National Day of Racial Healing. It allows people to collaborate and discuss how to create sustainable change while reflecting on efforts to achieve racial equity. The Knodel Center for Civic Life is also hosting a number of service opportunities with the American Red Cross, United Way of Alamance County, and the Boys and Girls Club of Alamance County. Those take place this Wednesday through Friday, and details about those can be found on your screen. Links to sign up for those service opportunities are on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Elon is commemorating an anniversary of its own this week. Wednesday will mark 100 years since the fire that destroyed most of Elon's campus. Our Ellis Chandler reports.
100 years ago, the Elon community had no idea how fire would become so integrated into the campus community.
I stood on our front porch on Haggard Avenue and watched Old Main burn.
Edith Brennick was an Elon graduate in 1939. She was growing up and was a small child when the fire took place.
He was getting up early to turn on the power, and he saw a flickering light in one of the classrooms.
George Troxler is a former Elon professor and historian. He wrote a book about campus and said what students mistook for a light left on was something much more sinister. It was the fire that would shape Elon's campus as we know it today.
All of the classrooms, all of the offices, faculty offices, administrative offices, the library, that was essentially the college.
The fire took place on January 18th, 1923. Old Main was built in 1890 and served as the centerpiece of campus. An edition of the student newspaper, known as the Maroon and Gold, that next morning called the fire the greatest catastrophe in the history of Elon College. The fire caused an estimated $125,000 to $150,000 in damage. Schedules and locations for classes were released and resumed just one day after the fire. For the rest of the semester, classes met in the men's and women's gyms, dorms, the post office, and even in the homes of faculty members. But that move was only temporary. Days after the fire, fundraising efforts began. The Board of Trustees voted to rebuild the campus and created an emergency fund committee with the goal of raising $600,000, half for construction and half for a permanent endowment. The Board of Trustees voted to rebuild the campus and create an emergency fund committee with the goal of raising $600,000. Half would be for construction and half would be for Elon's permanent endowment. Over the next 2 years, 5 new buildings were created: Alamance, Whitley, Carleton, Mooney, and Duke, which now make up the academic buildings in the historic neighborhood along with Powell. Now, students like Elon senior Megan Curling serve on the 1923 Engagement Committee, which will launch a series of year-long programming this Wednesday.
It's a beast, but it's been really fun to see everyone from across campus. We have representatives from University Communications, archives, athletics, basically anywhere you can think of on campus coming together to come up with these events. We have a lot of meetings and a lot of subcommittees and all of the things you could imagine to plan over a dozen events throughout the year, kind of hallmarked by 4 pretty major events that are in each of the quarters.
Curling says the committee's work is all about commemorating the fire rather than celebrating it.
Been a lot of learning about the history of Elon and understanding how the community has supported us and how we've really grown into this really large university from what started as a tiny college. So it's been really neat, and I'm really excited that we get to share all of the events and all of this knowledge that we've kind of compiled with the university community this year.
Curling says as the committee continues to meet and plan such a historic event over the course of this year, it's about making sure the greater community is involved as well. Ellis, Chandler, Elon Local News.
More of a preview on anniversary programming and Elon's history on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, this Wednesday.
A popular Elon restaurant is returning to campus as soon as this summer. Mediterranean Deli is potentially taking over 116 Williamson Avenue, where Acorn Coffee Shop is currently located. Med Deli owner Jamil Kadora is working with the university to finalize a new Elon location. The move for both businesses has not been finalized at this point. The former Med Deli location was below Park Place on West Haggard Avenue. It closed in August after 5 years of business. The location in Chapel Hill has and will continue to be open. As we enter a new calendar year, Elon is ending its largest fundraising campaign to date. Elon Leads raised over $260 million, surpassing its goal of $250 million, according to a recent announcement from Elon University President Connie Book. Vice President for University Advancement, Jim Pyatt, says because of the fundraising efforts, scholarships and additions to campus, such as the In at Elon and Innovation Quad, were possible.
I think what happens after a campaign like this is our broader community of alumni, parents, and friends sees the power of philanthropy and the impact of it. And as people see that, they say, hopefully, they say, yeah, I'd like to be part of that as well. And it just sort of raises everybody's sights to what's possible at Elon.
Pyatt says the Division of University Advancement takes its direction from Book and the Board of Trustees regarding what parts of the Boldly Elon strategic plan need funding and how to allocate it. He says the #1 priority is increasing scholarship funds for students. Now that the Elon Leads campaign has ended, they are looking at what comes next, though Pyatt says he does not have a specific answer at this time regarding a new campaign.
Still to come, one local business is working overtime to prepare for sorority recruitment season.
This time last year, Elon's campus was experiencing heavy winter weather. Our Anjolina Fantaroni joins us live in studio with more.
Anjolina, good evening to you.
Thank you, Jenna and Brett. Beginning Tuesday, we start off in the mid-50s with a 70% chance of rain. Though Wednesday and Thursday do move into mid and upper 60s, beware of heavy fog before 10 a.m. If you have a 9 a.m. J-term class, be sure to wear a jacket, as it will be chilly and damp. On Friday, we do see a good chance of sunny skies, while Saturday will be partly cloudy in the mid-40s to mid-50s during the day. For January, these temperatures are normal, but in the recent years, we have seen snow around this time. A year ago today, Elon and surrounding areas had over 3 inches of snow and over a 1/4 inch of ice, which began Winter Storm Izzy and even canceled class during J-term. In February 2021, we saw another winter storm warning, which left areas in a thick layer of ice and canceled classes. Although we did see some flurries Friday night, we do not expect any snow this week. Anjolina Fantaroni, Elon Local News.
Thank you, Angelina. While many students are staying on campus for fake break following J-term exams, others will be traveling home, on vacation, or elsewhere. If you're traveling by car or even doing a routine fill-up during fake break, the cheapest gas is $3.09 at BJ's in Burlington. The most expensive gas is $3.14 at the Shell station on South Webb Avenue in Burlington. Looking at neighboring states, gas in Virginia is ranging from $3.16 to $3.28. If you're traveling west, gas in Tennessee is averaging $2.69. Plus, if you use GasBuddy.com, you can find the cheapest options along your route. It's important to get your car checked before departing for break travel to make sure that there are no issues with your tires, brakes, or other parts of your vehicle. Campus services will be on a limited operating schedule next week because of fake break and because of sorority recruitment.
For the first time since 2020, Elon's sorority recruitment is set to be held fully in person. Beginning next Tuesday, hundreds of freshman and sophomore women will visit Elon's 9 organizations throughout the week with the intention of joining a sorority. Elon freshman Katie Ivanko says she is grateful for the opportunity to go through a fully in-person process.
I like to be personable in person, so it would definitely be difficult online. So I'm so grateful and excited that we've passed the whole, middle of the pandemic where we had to be on Zoom, and now we can meet people in person and see facial expressions and everything like that.
Ivanko says she is rushing to meet new people and get more involved on campus.
I'm going to try to be myself through the process, and I'm super excited to see where my friends end up because I know a lot of my friends want to rush, so it'll be super fun.
Sorority recruitment is set to begin on January 24th and go until January 29th. More information about the Panhellenic Association's recruitment process is on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
For anyone on campus looking to join a fraternity, the deadline to register for recruitment is tomorrow. Recruitment is scheduled for February 2nd through the 12th. Students interested must be in good standing with Elon, full-time students with a minimum of 12 credits, and have a GPA of at least a 2.8. The link to register can be found on the Elon Fraternity and Sorority Life website.
Recruitment is the busiest time of the year for clothing and gift store All That Jazz, which is located in downtown Elon. Former owner Michelle Graybeal says it is their Christmas in the retail business. Behind the scenes, the store has begun working on big projects, from preparing bid day gift baskets to designing shirts for active sorority and fraternity members to wear.
Getting new designs in and figuring out what's the hot item is really a big deal. But also the other thing is that after bid day, you're looking at 500 or 600 new members in sororities that have not either been in or they haven't looked, and they've been sort of walking through in the fall and going, looking at all the great merchandise and saying, I can't wait until I'm in a sorority.
Joining us now with a look into sports on campus and some updates on Elon Phoenix alumni is our sports director, Sydney Spencer.
Sydney, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Brett and Jenna. Elon women's basketball continued to struggle this weekend, losing to Northeastern yesterday. It's the 11th straight loss for the Phoenix, with the last win coming against North Carolina Central on November 27th. After a difficult first half, the Phoenix entered the locker room trailing 45-21. Freshman guard Raven Preston says she was frustrated with the play in the first half.
We could have came out and played a little bit harder and followed the scout, but we fought a little bit at the end, so there's something on the bright side.
The Phoenix were able to bounce back in the second half, outscoring the Huskies 30-24, but its efforts would not be enough. The team lost 69-51. Head coach Charlotte Smith says she was pleased with the play in the second half and is hoping to build upon it.
Go back and you watch the film and you try to pull the positives and continue to reiterate your identity, because there'll be times when, especially when you have a young team, where you know what your identity is, but you don't always see it. So reaffirming that identity and trying to walk in it.
Preston scored team-high 13 points and 14 rebounds, the fourth double-double of her first season with the Phoenix. It's the most by a player under Charlotte Smith in one season. The player who had it before Preston was in attendance at the game. The Phoenix are 0-6 in Colonial Athletic Association play. Its next game is Wednesday versus UNCW. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. in Wilmington. While winter sports are underway, the spring season is starting up for the women's tennis team. The team won a pair of singles matches against the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. but fell short against the number 2 ranked team, losing 5-2. Julie Ball and Olivia Archer won both their singles matches, while Cybele Tanique won her first set over one of the top-ranked players in the country. Elon is set to face Campbell on the road in its second of 4 straight road matches this Wednesday. One Elon athlete will be taking her talents off the court and into coaching. I spoke with Elon volleyball alumni about her time at Elon and inspiration as she becomes a professional coach. Elon volleyball setter Haley Clark is the newest addition to the coaching staff at Bucknell University in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, taking the position of assistant coach. Clark has been playing volleyball since she was 12 and is excited to keep the sport in her life.
I didn't want to go in the path of playing professionally just because my body can't take it anymore. But I knew I wanted to stick around volleyball and I wanted to make an impact any way that I could.
In her Elon career, Clark was named to the 2021 and 2022 All-Colonial Athletic Association second teams, the 2022 CAA All-Preseason first team, and was the 2021 CAA Setter of the Year. She also recorded 12 double-doubles and 2,667 assists, the 5th all-time at Elon. Clark says she was proud of her career.
Having a successful career was really important because when you're playing, you just learn so much about the game.
Her career, as well as the program at Elon, inspired her passion for coaching. She first began coaching during her freshman year with the Elon Volleyball summer camps, and most recently coached at the Piedmont Volleyball Club and Volleyballer Training Academy.
I really loved coaching and I love sharing my passion of the sport with youth athletes and student athletes as well.
Clark also says that playing under head coach Mary Tendler was inspiring and that she gained a lot from her guidance. She is striving to teach and treat her athletes the same way Tendler did.
I definitely loved how Coach Chandler made everyone feel so included, and it felt like a big family.
Clark will begin her position next week and start recruiting athletes in February. Clark will look to improve the Bison's record of 15-11 overall in its 2022 season. Elon football alumnus Oli Udoh made his starting debut yesterday with the Minnesota Vikings during the wild card round game against the New York Giants. Udoh was filling in for right tackle Blake Brandel, who was as the backup in his first game after missing more than a month with a knee injury. He also played well in late season games against the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears. Udoh was an offensive lineman for the Phoenix, playing from 2014 to 2018, and went to the Vikings as a 6th-round draft pick in 2019. Looking ahead to this week in sports, men's basketball is away in Wilmington tonight and is set to tip off at 7 p.m. Men's tennis began its spring season tonight against ranked number 14 Wake Forest in Winston-Salem. Women's track will split its teams to compete in 2 Virginia Invitationals as it continues its indoor season before the CAA Indoor Championships.
Wow, Sydney, certainly much to look forward to in this upcoming spring season. Is there anything more that you could share with us about these sports coming up in these next few months?
Yeah, so tennis, both men's and women's tennis just started its season, and there will be baseball, softball, and lacrosse that are going to be starting within a month, which is very exciting. Both those teams, they all look very good, very competitive, so hopefully they'll be able to change some of Elon's losses that we've seen over basketball these past couple of months.
Incredible.
Absolutely. Well,
stories, scores, and more from all these meets and matchups are on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, on social media at SportsENN. Brett and Jenna, thanks again for having me.
Sydney Spencer, thank you for joining us.
Coming up, a special edition of The Pendulum is on stands now. We've got where and why you should get a copy. Joining us now again inside with a glimpse at the weather ahead is our Anjolina Fantaroni.
Anjolina, good evening to you.
Beginning Tuesday, we start off in the mid-50s with a 70% chance of rain. Tuesday, it's going to be 55, high 55 with a low of 44, rainy. Wednesday, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 65 and a low of 52. Thursday, we are going to see some showers with a high of 67 and a low of 43. Friday, We see some sunny skies with a high of 57 and a low of 33. Saturday, it is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 52 and a low of 36.
Anjolina Fantaroni live inside the studio for us this evening. Thank you again. Elon News Network's annual Best Of publication is on stands and online now for community members to pick up or read. Over the past 2 months, staff members have worked to find the best of, whether that be on campus or in the community. The issue spotlights students, faculty, and staff members, business owners, and more. Whether you're looking to relive a historic moment from Elon Athletics, find a new restaurant to try, or class to take, Best Of showcases some of Elon's finest. Congratulations again to our managing editor and the rest of the Pendulum team on the 2023 edition. Now we have some copies right here with us. Really great design on these, but one of the features that I really like is the staff picks. If you had a staff pick, Brett, what would your category be?
Yeah, for me, I think definitely looking ahead, I'm looking forward to the Inferior Sex and Bridges of Madison County, which are two productions we have coming up in the Performing Arts School, obviously nationally accredited, so it's always exciting when they put on performances. So.
Very nice.
Jenna, what would yours be, please?
I think I just got back from study abroad, so if I were to do a staff pick, I would say best study abroad program to be in Florence, Italy. I had a fantastic time thanks to Elon's partnership in Florence. Fantastic food, fantastic learning experiences about arts and culture. That's what I would do. All right, well, what's your favorite part of J-Term?
For me, definitely one class. I think it's a little bit easy to manage, and right now I personally am taking props design, so I get to work on some interesting parts, especially within the Performing Arts School and handling that kind of stuff.
Very nice. I'm in media law, and it's great, but I don't love waking up at 9 a.m., so that's something I'm still getting used to. But that's all the news we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Elon Local News will be back on the air in February.
For stories, scores, and more, keep up with us by visiting our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Follow and like us on social media at Elon.